Oi, Brazil. It's Alex Mondosian. Welcome. I don't know if you and I have ever met, but if you did go to GBI, Guerrilla Business Intensive, then we did meet for 3 magical days. If you couldn't make it, or if you didn't register, then you're in the right place. My name is Alex. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area in California, and I've been marketing for the past 31 years. And it is my honor and privilege to teach you, thanks to Danny and Leo at EDS, because this is a special courtesy bonus training for you. Now, it is a summary for those of you who did attend GBI and continued education with me. Welcome. And those of you who did not, you'll have an opportunity to do that at the end of this event. Now, right now, while it's still fresh on your mind, I want you to type in your name and the city you're from on your keyboard. Maybe you're on your phone. You can do that as well. Doesn't matter how you're listening to me. Webinar Jam is the technology I'm using, and this is a technology I can show you how to use. We have a special for $1 for 63 days. You can stop it before the 63rd day, just so you can use it and learn it. It's the technology I have used since it started several years ago. We can expose to the rest of the world our message from our heart, from our head, and using our hands, we can have word of mouth marketing. So type in your name and the city you're from, and we'll get started. Now, this is the GBI webcast bonus training, and it is a bonus because whether you attended or not, it's always good to review. And the 3 principles that I taught at GBI, and I have been teaching for the past 32 times in the past 10 years, is negotiation, copywriting, and marketing. Those are the 3 things I taught there. And if you attended, then you know what all 3 of those are. If you didn't, then I will tell you that business is only about 3 things. Now here, E stands for entrepreneur. I don't care if you have a full-time job and you're employed full-time, or you have a part-time job and you're attempting to create your own business, or you're full-time as an entrepreneur. There's only 3 things you need to be doing to build it: marketing, copywriting, and negotiation. Those are the 3 universal strategies that I want my children, Gabriel and Brianna, to always learn. And I'm going to teach them to you right now. And let's start with marketing, because this is my expertise. And there's only 3 things you need to remember with marketing. Number 1, the market. Now, the market is about who. Who are you promoting to? 2, the message. The message is, what are you promoting? Is it a product? Is it a service? Is it information? Is it a network marketing offer? Okay, the message is about what you are ultimately selling to someone. And then the media is how you do it. Right now, I'm on a webcast, so that's how I'm doing it. We could do it through email. We could do it through newspapers or billboards that you see out on the streets, like I did in Sao Paulo. And billboards are all over the world. But no matter what media source you use, what's most important is start with who, then what, then how, in this order. And that's where most people go in the wrong direction, because they start with the message. They have a great idea. They have a great service they want to market to the rest of the world. It's the who that makes you money. The message and the media cost you money. Now, the market is all about relationships. This event is all about relationships. First who, then what. First market, then message. If you remember anything, please remember that, because it will be like you went to heaven without the inconvenience of dying. Because when you learn to focus on who first, which is what I teach to all the students, we have over 150 people that are continuing education with us, including their families. And when we teach them, and I'll be teaching them myself with Marianne and with the other Leo, L-I-O, we will be teaching with the coaches that are with us, Seek and Andre Braga and Alessandra and a few others who speak English, they have an advantage. If you only speak Portuguese, you already see that we have subtitles here. That's for you. And Leo did that for us. But what's most important is you need to learn English eventually. There's only two languages in business worldwide, Mandarin and English. English is much easier. Now, here's the key point. The number one reason why your market won't buy is their beliefs systems. They have unsupported beliefs. It's not because your product is no good. It's not because your presentation's no good. It's because of what they believe. And there are only two false beliefs systems. There are only two types of false beliefs about your offer. Now, an offer is what you're selling. It could be a product. It could be a service. It could be a network marketing opportunity, MLM. Many of the people, half the room at GBI are in MLM opportunities. But if you are in one and people keep saying no to you, the rejection you're getting is because there are only two types of false beliefs that you have to get them to turn in order to win their favor. Now, one type of false belief is the internal false belief. That's in here, in the head and in the heart. And then the second type is external. For example, if you're not good with technology, you have the false belief that you can't do it. Well, I have a 91-year-old in San Francisco who barely knew how to turn on his computer, and he has a membership site making 5 figures in US dollars month after month after month. Now, if you have false beliefs with your market, then you have no sale. In fact, you may have had false beliefs if you didn't run to the back of the room. Like, I have no money, or I have no time, or I have no way to find a relative to pay for this, or I have no way to find a sponsor, a lazy sponsor who doesn't want to do the work for me. I have no room on my credit card. I have no way to take money out of the bank to do it. Okay, that may be true or false. If you didn't attend Guerrilla Business Intensive, you may have some false beliefs associated with that as well. The point is not whether you went or didn't go to GBI, or if you bought or didn't buy. Okay, if you're watching right now and you bought, then you know that you have a belief system that got you to stand up and run or walk to the back of the room and fill out the order form. Now, there are internal beliefs I want to teach you so that you're familiar with them, because marketing is all about false belief systems. So here's an internal false belief. Number one, I can't learn from GBO, which stands for Guerrilla Business Online, because Alex's training is in English. Well, that's a false belief. Why? Because we're doing everything in our power to translate everything that I have. Now, most of the Guerrilla Business Online is already translated, but we're continuing to translate 100% of it. Not all is translated yet, but when it's translated completely, it's yours forever. So if that's a false belief of yours, first of all, start learning English if you want to become a multimillionaire. You want to make $1 million? Well, you will. If you will make it in 40 years, I don't think you'll be satisfied. If you make it in 30 years, I don't think you'll be satisfied. Many people make it in 20 years, even 10 years, which is 100,000 reais, or reais if you're in Rio. That's what I learned when I was in São Paulo. But I'm talking in US dollars. The key is to make it in 1 year. $1 million in a year. Is it possible? You may have a false belief that says, no, that's not possible. It's impossible for me to make $1 million in a year. Well, then guess what? You're right. Because you can only do what your beliefs allow you to do. I've made $1 million, not just in a year, not just in a month, not even in a week. Actually, I've made $1 million in a single day. But one special day, years ago, in 2007, I haven't done it since, I made $1 million in 28 minutes and 37 seconds. Now, I'm telling you that not so that you say, oh, Alex, you made $1 million in less than an hour. I'm telling you, if you want to learn how to make $1 million in 1 year, doesn't it make sense to learn from someone who's made it in less than an hour? That's up to you. Now, here's an internal false belief number 2. I can't make $1 million because I've never marketed online. Well, whether you're marketing online, on the internet, or offline, it doesn't matter. Many people who are millionaires, and there are over 17.5 million millionaires. That is a lot of millionaires. Nearly 18 million millionaires at the time of this recording in 2017. That's amazing, isn't it? And I'm talking US dollars, not reais. So what I want you to know that not only is it possible, it's possible almost 18 million times. Why aren't you part of it? Well, one reason may be because you don't have the skills and the tools to do it. Maybe you don't have the right mentor to do it. Maybe you have some false beliefs that has never given you the opportunity to do it. And maybe there's someone at home or someone who loves you that's prevented you from doing it because they were afraid that you were going to change. Now, internal false belief number 3. These are just examples. I can't get support from my family or my friends or others. Now, if you didn't go to Guerrilla Business Intensive because a family member told you not to go, or if you didn't go because you didn't want to pay for it and you don't pay for continuing education, you wanted it new cost, or if you went and you didn't continue education with me, well, you'll get a second chance today, tonight, this morning, whenever it is that you're watching me right now. And you'll get to use your keyboard, and you'll also get to use your phone if you want. And I will talk to you about that opportunity a little later on in this training. But if a family member doesn't support you, it's not because they don't love you. It's because they're afraid you're going to change. And if you do change, and if you do become a multimillionaire, you will be reminding them that they are failing, and they don't want to feel that way as well. So I have plenty of family who didn't want me to do what I do. My mother, her name is Carol, still doesn't know what I do. She thinks I do something illegal because I make a lot of money. So my own mother would say, why would anyone listen to you, Alejandro, for more than 4 minutes? I say, I don't know. Millions of people do. But you're my mom, so maybe you don't. But it doesn't matter. I love her. She loves me. And she still wants me to find a job. Now, external. This is external false belief number 1. I'm not good at using technology and don't have any online tools. Now, I'm focusing online because an offline business, if you're a doctor, if you're an attorney, if you do network marketing, if you do any service business or coaching and consulting, you can still have an online business with a website that generates leads for you so that you don't have to physically do it. Well, whether you have technology or not, there are certain technologies that work and certain technologies that don't. There are technologies that are very complex and some that are very simple. Here, I'm using a technology that is very simple. It's called Webinar Jam. And if you like to try it for $1 for 63 days. Now, why 63? Because there are 3 21-day periods in 63 days. And with the owner of the company who developed it, I made a special arrangement with him. His name is Andy. And his partner, his name is Mike. And Webinar Jam can be yours for $1 US, only if you want to try it out. And it's for 63 days. And you won't have to renew it for the year, which is about $400 US after 63 days. But you can simply go to marketingonline.com/WJ. marketingonline.com/WJ. And you'll see the 63-day trial. It's in English. And if you're not with us, with our GBO, Guerrilla Business Online training, then you won't get any support because you didn't invest with us. But if you did come on board with us, then you will get a special 3-class training that will be taught in Portuguese. And I'm so excited for you because we are going to change the world, Brazil. Look, Brazil is #1 in natural resources. It is #9 in its national production, its gross national and domestic product. Why? Because it hasn't lived up to its potential. Brazil is untapped potential, and you may be just like Brazil. You can say it's the government's fault. You can say it's an educational problem. I don't believe that. I believe it's just a matter of understanding what your potential is and then living into it so that you become #1 beyond China, beyond the United States, beyond England and all the other countries above you. You're #1 in natural resources, Brazil. #1. But you're not in the top 5 for gross domestic product, which I would like to change with you. Now, false belief #2, external. External false belief #2 is I'm not good at doing marketing campaigns or building funnels. Now, a funnel is the path that a client goes through until they buy from you. Now, I am very good at building funnels, and I started doing it over 20 years ago. If you go into Google in the US, not in Brazil, but in the US, the big Google, and you type in your keyboard, funnel marketing king, just like it sounds, 3 words in English, you'll see me on the first page. Why? Because I'm good at it and people acknowledge me as good at it. Now, I'm not good at a lot of things. I'm not good at technology. I have web developers to do that. I'm not good at the details. I have an online business manager to do that. But I am good at thinking and strategizing and teaching others to make complex things simple. And I think that's why you're here. External belief #3. Now, if you get rid of these internal and external beliefs with your target market, then you will have a sale. So that's why I'm going over these, because these are the external false beliefs that my target audience has. Maybe you're one of them. I'm not good at joint ventures, that's what a JV is, or getting website traffic for new prospects. Well, if you don't have a list, if you don't have any partners to joint venture with, if you have no one who's willing to mail their list for you, then I have news for you. There are tens of thousands of them out there if you know what to say and how to say it, and I can teach you. Now, I won't have time to teach all of you what I have in that regard in this masterclass because we're less than an hour, but that's what I teach when you continue education with me, and that's what you can learn on Google if you just looked it up, and all the information I teach is on Google. The reason people pay me is I've made lots of mistakes, so I know what not to do, and I put it all together in one place instead of you looking on Google in tens of thousands of pages. Now, here's the key point. Do this first. List all of the potential false beliefs your target market has, especially if you're in multi-level marketing, or we call it network marketing. Some people call it direct sales. Why? Because people have false beliefs in their head and in their heart, and they have false beliefs in their hands externally. External is, I don't know technology. I don't have joint venture partners. I don't have a list. That's external. The head and the heart is, I'm not good enough. I don't have any millionaires in my family. I don't know how to market or sell. Those are internal false beliefs. Now, here's another key point is do this #2, do this second. Convert your market's false beliefs into a list of frequently asked questions, 5 to 9 frequently asked questions. That's all you need. So every false belief that you believe that your target audience has, and if you don't know what they are, you just start asking them. There's plenty of people who will tell you. Sometimes you have to observe it. And there's about 5 to 9 frequently asked questions, which you can write out, and that can be your sales letter online, because if you answer their questions, their false beliefs become supportive beliefs. And here's the final key point is do this third. Attack each false belief in all of your marketing messages. So people do the wrong thing with their marketing messages, my friend. What they do is they focus on the product or the message. They focus on the service or the message. They focus on the company, like a multi-level marketing company, which is the message. Focus on eliminating the false beliefs of your target market. And once your market opens up and there is this zone of trust, it's like this circle of trust that they bring you into. Just like if you're married, you were brought into someone else's family. It is then when they will buy everything that you have. People hate to be sold, but they love to buy. Question: why do most businesses or business owners fail to apply what they learn? Now, let's say you're a business owner or an entrepreneur. Why have you failed to apply what you learn? Well, I know I failed to apply what I learned. There's a bunch of books on my bookshelf that I haven't read every one of those. There are lots of reports in my files that I haven't read, right? But most of the time, I'm applying what I'm learning and I'm closing the learning-doing gap so that I activate the wealth that's inside me. Well, the reason most people, and especially business people, fail to apply what they learn is they fail to close the learning and doing gap. I'll give you an example. If you went to GBI, Guerrilla Business Intensive, and you decided not to continue education with me with my offer on the stage, you saw hundreds of people run to the table, but you didn't, and you have your reasons, and I respect those reasons, and I told you that when I was on stage. Well, then what you learned at GBI, there is a gap between what you learned and what you're about to do. If you don't have the support that is ongoing, if you don't have the high impact training that follows, if you don't have continuing connection with the GBI Brazil family and community on our Facebook group, then it's much easier to do it alone because there's no such thing as a self-made success. It's very difficult. Think about how hard it is to do it by yourself. So the learning doing gap is this platform of learning, and then you take action, and then there's a gap, and you're jumping, you're taking a risk, and you are jumping, and then there's the doing part. When you're in the doing zone, then everything works great. Even if you don't do it perfectly, it still works great. But the only way to do this is to play to win, because you got to play the game of business to win. Now, this taking action part means you can also fall. And many times, there is no safety net to catch you. Let me show you something that I look at every single day. There's a goldfish there, and that goldfish is jumping from one small fish bowl to a bigger fish bowl because a goldfish gets bigger in a bigger fish bowl. Now, the sign in English says, one day your life will flash before your eyes. Make sure it's worth watching. That goldfish is 100% committed. It is completely destroyed the other fish bowl and is jumping into the new one. If it doesn't make it, it's dead. That's not the case when you continue education with me. When I'm your mentor, I have a safety net to catch you and I put you back up. So yes, I'm going to put you back up into the learning zone, but you'll have to jump to the doing zone. I'm not going to motivate you. I will inspire you, but I won't motivate you. I only teach self-motivated students. Okay? I'm not a babysitter. You must come self-motivated and have personal initiative to wake up in the morning and want to do what you're doing. I can inspire you to want to do it more. I can't motivate you to do it. And it's very important for you to understand that because we only work with self-motivated students. Now, here's the question. What are the 3 reasons why students don't close the learning doing gap? Now, do you see how this entire presentation it seems to be questions? Is because I know the questions that people ask me at the event and after the event of GBI. So I'm answering all of them now. It's education through 10 years and 32 events of trial and error. I'll be doing my 33rd one in Bangalore, India. So I don't know when my 40th one will be. It'll probably be sometime in 2018, but that's a lot of events to do, one event, and teaching it with all my heart. And if you were there, you know that to be true. Now, here's one reason why people don't close that learning doing gap is they don't start. Not starting means procrastination. That's why there's a unhappy face here. Okay, so you got to start. Number 2, not finishing. Not finishing is what we call perfectionism. Now, perfectionism is where it has to be perfect, so you never finish. If you never finish, you can't sell it. You can't sell something that's not finished. Sometimes Bill Gates has done that with Microsoft, but most of the time, people don't sell things that are unfinished. And then the 3rd reason why people don't, business people, even in your personal life, you don't close that learning doing gap is not continuing. You don't keep going, okay? You don't continue like a water pump to keep pumping the pump until water comes out. It's what's called paralysis, where you're stuck. You know, if you know something about a water pump, you keep pumping and pumping and nothing comes out. And the water is coming up from 30 meters underneath the earth in the water table underneath, and there's a vacuum, and you pump and there's nothing coming out. You pump some more and then water comes out. Maybe a few drops and then a lot. If you stop pumping, what happens? The water goes back down and then you got to keep pumping again. So if you don't continue, you may die of thirst in business, and a lack of continuation is the 3rd reason why people can't close the learning doing gap. Now, here's the question. What's the easiest way to close your learning doing gap? Well, this is my opinion. Don't believe a word I say. Just understand that it's my experience. This is what I've observed, and this is what I know to make millions of dollars. And that is called Guerrilla Business Online. It is everything you learned in GBI, only taken online, because online is faster, it's better, it's easier, and it's a lot more convenient. You're not in a seminar right now. You're in a webcast. Some people call it a webinar, but it's virtual. I'm in California in the United States. I'm assuming you're in Brazil somewhere. You may be in some other part of the world, but we're not next to each other. I'm the only one here. Well, there is my dog. That's Minnie. And you can see her there. She's sleeping. Minnie, wake up, hey, wake up. Okay, well, she's upset with me right now because she doesn't want to be woken up. Like any daughter would not want to be woken up. So GBO stands for Guerrilla Business Online. And Guerrilla Business Intensive is the 3-day event which you experienced or you didn't make it there. Guerrilla Business Online is what comes afterwards to take you to the next level and make you the multi-millionaire you deserve to be. Now, I taught this last year, and now we have Guerrilla Business Online coaches. We have Alessandra, we have Andre, we have Seek, we have Marianne as the lead trainer. We have Leo. There's 2 Leos, and this is the L-I-O, Leo. He's doing the subtitles. He can write his last name. He's probably smiling right now. And we have our Facebook group. So like the tide that comes in and out of the Rio de Janeiro Bay, all the boats rise, right? In the harbor, when the tide rises, all the boats rise. And that's what GBO can do. It can raise every boat in your harbor. If you've bought any other training, it will rise it will make that rise up and go to the next level. If you purchased any kind of other training in Quantum Leap, which is through EDS, then that will also increase the level of success. Now, there are 3 results that you can expect from any world-class offer. Now, an offer is something that you're selling. It's your message. The first thing you can expect if you're offering to someone else is you want to give them higher status. They're going to make more money, so they'll live better. They'll have a boat. They'll have a better car. They'll have a better home. They'll live in a better neighborhood. So higher status is one thing that a world-class training like GBO offers. Second is it's easily accessible. Now, in this case, you're not going to a physical event. It is virtual, meaning you can watch it just like you're watching me, but we're very connected, especially because of the Facebook group. So it's easy access. And third, probably the most important of the 3 is more speed. You will close the learning doing gap faster, better, and easier. Now, there are 4 pillars of GBO. There's 4 of them. Now, this is a message, and I'm using this webinar jam technology as the media to give it to you. You are my market, and you're in the position to say yes or no to an offer. Why? Because to be a continuous learner, there's only 4 ways to play the game of business and life. The first way is to refuse to play. Now, if you refuse to play, you wouldn't be here right now. You just wouldn't be watching. Or maybe if you came in and you left, you're not watching me right now, so you don't know I'm talking about you. So that's the first way, is refuse. Number 2 is to pretend to play. Now, this is silly. Why pretend to play a game and let everyone else think that you're playing? Why not just refuse to play? Refusing is better than pretending, but some people show up and then they pretend to play, whether it's at Guerrilla Business Intensive or it's at this bonus webcast training. Pretending to play is no good for you, for me, or anyone else who knows us or doesn't know us. The third way is to play, not to lose. Now, this is difficult, and I hope it comes across in translation. Playing not to lose means playing defense. Now, in football, we call it soccer in the United States. You can't score goals playing defense 100% of the time. Many of the women on my online list tell me that most of their lives until they met me, they've been playing not to lose. And when you focus on playing not to lose, what are you focusing on? Losing. There's only one way to play of the 4, and that is playing to win. And what I do is I don't only teach you how to play to win, but I teach you to play a game that is winnable. Because if you are playing a game that is not winnable, a non-winnable game, you can't win. So even if you played to win, you wouldn't. And many people do that. They play a game that you just cannot win. You can't win the game of retail with Walmart. You can't win the game of hamburger sales with McDonald's. You can't win the game of coffee with Starbucks because they've already won that game. You can't win the game. You can't win the game of online retail sales against Amazon.com. They've already won the game. But you can find a niche that is winnable. Now, when you're playing a winnable game, you only get 2 results. And this is my favorite. Number 1, you win. If you're playing to win, that's one of the results you can get. But most of the time, the second result is you learn. I'm a lifelong learner. If you're still here, you're a lifelong learner. And together we can play to win because it's like you're getting something for free and you're investing in insurance. It's the insurance policy that you're going to succeed because of all the other brothers and sisters in and outside of Brazil learning this game of internet marketing, which I can teach you, and I've done it before, and I've done it since 1993. I'm one of the godfathers of internet marketing. At least that's what my friends tell me. So the four pillars are as follows. Pillar number one is expensive. Selling it separately is live mentoring with me. 6 sessions. Now, if you're watching this, we haven't started yet. Why? Because I want to give you a second chance. Leo and Danny want to give you a second chance. All of our coaches, the other Leo, Andre, Alessandra, Marianne, our lead trainer, okay, and Sieg, they all want to give you a second chance because they took the first chance, but the second chance is just as sweet. So live mentoring, it would be nearly 10,000 reais, okay, if you bought it separately. Now, pillar number 2 is productivity challenge. Those are 21 videos. They are about 5 minutes each. They're all translated in Portuguese. No one else in the world has this. If you go to Google US and type in productivity guy, you'll see over 30 million results. And on page 1, you'll see me 5 times. I dominate it because this is what I teach businesses. And the productivity challenge is a 21-day challenge. They're 5-minute videos. It's also audio you can download to your phone or your audio player. You can listen to it while you're walking your dog. You can listen to it while you're in the shower. If you have waterproof earbuds, or maybe you'll play it on the speakers. You can listen to it in bed. You can listen to it in your car. You can listen to it in the gym or maybe just commuting to work. But they're 5 minutes each, and it's 1 tip per day for 21 days. It's the 21-day challenge. And in the Facebook group, which I'm going to show you in just a moment, you are reporting on the breakthrough you made with your productivity. Now, the third pillar is called the Facebook group. It's a private Facebook group. It's only for Guerrilla Business Online students and their families. The family has to live under the same roof, okay? They can't be friends living somewhere else. They have to be in the same home or apartment. Now, that pillar is 4,000 reais. Why? The productivity challenge is 4,000 reais. In fact, if you go to productivitysecrets.com, you'll see what it cost, and you can buy it online right now. So I'm not inflating these prices. This is what they are, a la carte, one by one. So the reason this Facebook group is expensive, because Facebook is free, is because I have to pay my team to maintain it. I am paying my coaches in mentoring, in exchange for mentoring. I said, do you want money or do you want my mentoring? They said mentoring. Okay. Well, that costs me more money. So it actually costs me more than 4,000 reais, which is about 1,300 US dollars at the time of this recording. So that Facebook group to me is the most valuable thing, because that's where the community is. And those of you who are in it and watching, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe you can type in how amazing that group is. And then pillar number 4 are the video trainings. Now, these are master classes, and most of them focus on building your list, because many people who come to me do not have a list. Do you have a list? The answer is no, you're in the right place. A list is made up of all the people you are marketing to. It's your target market. How do you get a list? Well, you get it through YouTube, through Facebook, through LinkedIn, through search engine optimization, through blogging, through iTunes, and many other ways I will show you. And it doesn't always have to be you making the presentation. So these video trainings are pillar number 4, and it's the master classes to build your list. 4,000 reais if you add it up. Now, this is where it becomes big. I showed this on stage, and people were going, oh, that's what they did. 12,000 reais. I have a course called Web Copy Secrets. In fact, if you go on the internet, you will see it, and it's about 12,000 reais. And the reason it's so much is because it's over 20 years of hard testing in marketing and tracking what works and doesn't work. And after millions of mistakes that have been made and millions of dollars wasted, I know the emails that work. I know the subject lines that work. I know the video scripts like this, which work. I know the audio scripts that work. Why? Not because I'm smart, it's because I have been the dumbest person in the room within marketing, and I've learned through trial and error. So I always come with a beginner's mind. Let me show you what I mean. Many people don't come to a training like this. This is called a pencil, my friend. Okay, now if you don't know what this is, it's because you're too young. But when I grew up, this is called a pencil. This is not sharpened. You need a sharpener. Okay, so this is a sharpener. And when you sharpen it, then you can write with it. You can't write with this. So this is a beginner. And you'll notice that there's all 100% of the eraser there. Now, when I'm done with you, you will have a lot of knowledge. Now, you'll notice that the knowledgeable pencil is smaller than the new pencil, which is the beginner. And here, smaller is better because now this is all this experience. Look at all the experience. How many centimeters of experience is there? Plus, there are all these mistakes that have been made. This is knowledge. But when I'm done with you, you're going to have wisdom. Wisdom is this size. Notice the eraser is used more. Why? More mistakes. There is wisdom here. There is knowledge here. All right? So I want you to come to me like this. You're not allowed to write with a pencil. This is an analogy. And then you come like this, where you have knowledge, and then finally you have wisdom. And that's where I am right now. This is where you are. I'm going to take my GBO students to here and ultimately here. And this represents millions of dollars. Remember, $1 million US in less than 29 minutes. Bonus number 3 is 20,000 reais, and it's the best of me. All of the master classes that my students have voted 5 out of 5 stars. I've put them together. We have translated them into Portuguese with subtitles. And the reason we've done that is for you. But you have to say yes in order to come in. And if you say yes to this alone, it's 20,000 reais. And this is called a masterclass series because once you keep watching them again and again, you will master what I teach. You don't have to learn it like I did. It took time. Bonus number 4 is priceless. I can't even put a price tag on it. And it's my vendor list, my copywriters, my web developers, my online business managers, my copy writers for video and for audio, my coaches, okay? My technology partners, they're the world's best. I'm very, very tough. If you know me from the stage, you know that I'm tough, compassionately, but still tough. And I have that whole list. You can access them for free. Just don't refer them to others. And you can only do that if you're in Guerrilla Business Online. Alex, how do I get into Guerrilla Business Online? I'm going to tell you. So bonus number 5 is a special one-time scholarship, thanks to EDS, Experiencia de Suceso. Why? Because some people say ES, but I think it's EDS. Like Success Resource International is SRI. Some people call it SR. Well, I call it EDS. This is Danny and Leo. You know them. You're here because of them. You got the email because of them. I didn't send you the email. I'm only welcoming you into this home, this virtual home that we're in. And bonus number 5 is I'm giving you a 5,000 reais scholarship. Why? Because I can. Because times are difficult to pay for everything that I'm offering at the retail price. And I don't discount my prices. So I'll give you a scholarship that's almost 2,000 US dollars is 5,000 reais. Okay. Now, so the outrageous offer, if you were to buy everything separately, would be over 53,000 reais. Now, Americans have paid this. English and Australians have paid this. Europeans have paid this. In fact, Danny and Leo have paid more than this as they went through Quantum Leap. So this may seem like a big number, but you probably lost more money than this guessing at what works. And I no longer will allow you to guess, because you're going to do exactly as I ask you to do. Now, you can do it your way and still like try to swim and maybe drown a little bit and then swim some more, or you can do it my way and you can just float on the water on a raft and not even have to have any muscle moved. You can just be sitting back and basking in the sun. So with the scholarship, if you do the math, 53,997 reais minus 5,000 is 48,997 reais. Now, I think that $5,000 scholarship is not only generous, but I think it's valuable enough so that you take that 5,000 reais and you spend it as working capital. However, that's not good enough. Why? Because I can do better than that. It's not the best I can do. If I pay for your bonuses that you get with the web copy secrets and with the best of Alex. Now, why would I pay for those for you? Is it actually coming out of my pocket? No. But I've invested tens of thousands of dollars and I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars testing and tracking what works and what doesn't work. But those bonuses together are 32,000 reais. And I am taking that off. So now it's affordable for 16,997 reais. Okay. That is now affordable. Now, if you know something about Quantum Leap for the Millionaire Mind Intensive, you know that this course is affordable, because would you exchange $16,997 for $1,000,000 reais? Would you exchange that? Like, you give me this and I'll give you $1,000,000 back in a year. Well, in 2 years. Would you do that exchange? All right, we'll keep watching, because that's not good enough. Why? Because I can do better than that. It's not the best I can do. I will pay for your video training, which I've already created and I've already made millions of dollars on. So it's already paid for. Why can't I give it to you? I can. Now, if you don't want to take it from me, that's okay. But you can pay 4,000 reais more. If you don't want to pay 4,000 reais more, then now we're down to 12,997 reais. Little better than 16,997. Would you agree? I mean, if you take this, it's better for me. I'm a very good receiver. If you said, no, Alex, you can just keep the videos. Don't give them to me. You've worked really hard for them. And you'll say, I'll take the 16,997. Is that something that you would do? I didn't think so. Well, 12,997 reais. I will pay for the videos. And that is almost the best I can do. Because the Facebook group costs money with my team here in America. It costs me time and money with my team in Brazil. But still, I want to give it to you. 4,000 reais off, gone, slashed. Why? Because I can. I can do it. 8,997 reais. That, my friend, is a big drop from over 53,000 reais. Okay, almost 9,000 reais. That's about 3,000 US dollars. It is nothing. I know that this offer is over 5,000 US dollars, and I sold it, one similar, to Danny and Leo in Milan at another GBI, and that's what they bought it for. But that's not the best I can do. I can do better. In fact, I'm going to pay for the 21-day productivity challenge. I've already paid for the translations of all the videos. I did that last year. And so I'm going to pay for your challenge. I'm going to take off $4,000, Productivity Challenge is what PC stands for. And now we're at the final price, 4,997 reais. It's just over a little over $1,000 US. This is the final offer, 4,997. That's it. I can't get any lower. And everything will come to an end 24 hours after this video is done. You're watching me now. 24 hours, we are done. We're starting the training. Now, there is a payment plan, and there is a 4-pay plan that you can arrange with EDS. Now, there's 2 ways you can contact them to join me personally as we go through the private mentoring sessions. We have 6 of them, and then we have a members area that you will immediately get into when you say yes. Now, this is the phone number, 113522-1873. This is the phone number. Call it now. If it's busy, keep calling, because that means there's too many calls coming in. If you get a message, that's because they're busy. I don't care what time of day or night it is. Call, leave a message, and they will call you by the next business day, or they're on the phone with one of the students. Now, there's another option where you can email. Calling is better, but with email, you email to gbo@experienciadesucesso.com.br for Brazil. Now, I hope I'll leave it up for a little bit so that you see it. I hope my Portuguese accent, Brazil, was done well. We had a great event. We had 100% commitment from our students, where 100% of them got on stage and got in front of the stage, and they were looking at the seats, and there was no one at the seats, and they were singing, Brazil, Brazil, Brazil. And then we clapped it out. Yes. And that was an amazing experience. It's an experience where people went to weep. It was an experience where people went to play. It was an experience where people went to have a breakthrough, to laugh, to find a best friend. You're a stranger in your life right now, a stranger, okay, could become your best friend, because your best friend today was once a stranger. No one is making you watch this far. No one is making you say yes. Only you can do that. And within 24 hours, you won't be able to say yes for another year. I may be back next year. GBI webcast bonus training is what this was. I hope that you understand the false internal and external beliefs of people having with negotiation, copywriting, and marketing. We focused on marketing today, and 3 internal and 3 external false beliefs. This is what your business must look like to succeed. Marketing at the top, copywriting and negotiation at the base, and then in the middle is E for entrepreneur. There is nothing as powerful as running your own business, and there is nothing as painful as running your own business if you don't know how. Please make your decision. It is decision time. If the phone is busy, keep trying. If you get a message, leave a very clear voice message so that they can call you back at EDS. And here is the email again. Type in an email. Don't ask questions. Don't ask what else is in it. They will tell you, but you either know or you don't know. You know, in the end, when you take your final breath, and then you're about to exhale your final breath, I hope I'm surrounded by tens of thousands of my students. I hope you'll be there on the day of my last day on earth. I hope you will. I hope my kids will be there. Probably my former wife will be there. And what I want to do is I want to think back and say, that was spectacular. And I'm talking about my life. There's only 2 regrets that people have in looking back in their life. And I'm being serious with you. The first regret are the things they did, the things they said, the physical actions they took, what they did to other people financially or physically or mentally or emotionally, even spiritually. They have a regret of what they did and they beg for forgiveness. But the regret of things that you did on your final day with your final breath does not even come close to the regret of what you didn't do. Because you can't beg for forgiveness for something you didn't do. You just didn't do it. And when they survey 80 and 90-year-olds in an old folks home in any country in the world, when they're asked, what's your biggest regret? Something you did or something you didn't do? 90% of them say, always, it's something I didn't do. I wish I had done it when I had the chance. This is your chance to make a difference in other people's life. This is your chance to go online, build the list of your dreams and market to people who want to be served by you. This is your chance to find your niche and understand what you want. Even if you have no idea what it is, I can show and help you get there. This is your chance to find the message so that it is laser-like and gets to your market so they say yes. This is your chance to find the media sources that are faster, that are cheaper, and that work a lot better. And I can show you how to do it. We are on one of them right now. My name is Alex Mondosian. I thank you for watching this far, and I am waiting for you to say yes. Say yes now, and then our paths will cross again soon. All good wishes.